Hello and welcome to another Digital Samba release notes walkthrough. Today we're in Berlin. We're actually going to the We Are Developers Conference, but I have a little bit of time off on day 0, so I thought I'd take you to a landmark here in Berlin, Kaufhaus des Westens, KDW as they call it. This is one of the first department stores in Europe after we had seen this in the USA. It's opened in 1907, and let's go check it out inside and walk you through Digital Samba 616. All right, so we're approaching the famous Wintergarten at the very top of the building. Let's see where we find a good place to sit down. Cool. I think I found a really nice spot for us. Check this out. We've got a nice desk set up over here. So join me, or a limo, as they like to say here in Germany. And let's get stuck in and check out Digital Samba 616. All right, let's get stuck in. Digital Samba 616 is available from 27th of June 2025. And the primary feature here is all about breakout room timers. This is one that came from the field, and we're happy to present it to you today. Basically, it allows you to set breakout room timers and allows you to control countdown duration, automatically end rooms at that time, basically pull people back into the main room. And what I'm also particularly excited about is the ability to trigger recordings automatically when the breakout sessions begin. This actually is a really impressive addition to our tech stack, meaning that we can now automatically scale up recordings as well, allowing us to essentially run an infinite number of recordings, thanks to our partner Scaleway that we host with in Europe. So super excited about that one. And we've also refined system check configuration to help us pass through firewalls and to give our customers better information when they need to configure their firewall. So we'll get to that one in a minute, but let's start with the breakout room functionality. And I'm going to kind of cover everything here all in one go. So let's jump in and check our config. So we've got our demo room over here, and I'll jump over to the breakout room section. And we now have this new breakout room timer, which I will just leave at the default of 30. And we can decide whether we want the breakouts to stop at the end of a timer. In fact, you know what? I'm going to set this to something shorter, like 2 minutes, so that we can check that out together as well, what happens when the timer ends. And yeah, we can then decide, whether we want the users to be exited automatically when the breakout timer ends, or whether you want the clock to continue inside these rooms. Use cases differ, so we have different options here. And I know from the team that we're going to have some additional features coming for the timers as well very soon. Okay, so that's that. And we should also check in the recording section, because we will want to turn on the ability to record breakout rooms automatically. And that essentially does exactly what it says on the tin. When the first user joins a breakout room, the recording auto starts and everything is recorded there. You'll have separate recordings for each breakout room in your recordings panel as soon as the recordings are available. All right, so I'll update this room with these new settings, and I'll jump into one of these rooms. All right, so we can see on the left-hand side the moderators view, and on the right-hand side the attendees view. And as you can see, I'm the moderator Rob, and I've got an attendee with me here named Sue. And now let's jump over into breakout rooms and create. We actually just need one breakout room over here, so that's fine. You can see it's taken the settings that we set up earlier with a breakout room duration of 2 and breakout room timer on, and end breakouts on timer on as well. So let's create that. And I am now going to, so Sue has already been assigned. In fact, I'm also going to assign myself to breakout room number 1. And we'll start these breakouts. Okay, great. And so now we see on the right-hand side the join experience for the attendee, and on the left, the moderator. The attendee now has a chance to turn on their video and audio. I will not do that for now. Audio should also be off. And we'll start the broadcast, or rather cancel. Yeah, I don't need that to be seen in this particular session. All right, and as you can see, the moderator now has a timer in the top right. And let's just wait for this to count down and see what happens. And maybe, while we're waiting for this to happen, you also notice that the session is being recorded. I didn't have to start the recording. This is obviously great. So let's wait for this to fast forward. Cool, we're almost there. So let me resize my windows one more time. And here we are. The breakout rooms ended, and we're all pushed back into the main room just as we had left the settings when we started the breakout room. And that's the new breakout rooms timer feature. We hope you love it. Let us know what you think. And if you have any suggestions for extensions, we're always happy to hear them. So now let's jump back into the release notes and see what else we've got. All right. And I think we actually have another breakout rooms feature for you, which is the ability to completely remove participants from the session directly from within the breakout rooms without having to return to the main session first. So you can now, when you're in a breakout room, immediately exit the users. And I'll show you that in just a second. And also we added support for up to 30 answers when creating a poll. Previously, we only allowed up to 10. So knock yourself out with giving huge polls with up to 30 answers. All right, so we're back in the breakout rooms, and now let's say we wanted to remove Sue completely. I now have this new remove option over here, which is obviously tremendously helpful if we don't want to have to go out, into the main room first. And let's just try that. And Sue has been removed from the session, so cool. All right, and those are the main features we had in Digital Samba. Now, just a couple of bug fixes left, which as always, I invite you to go to the release notes pages themselves. One of the benefits of doing that is you can actually subscribe to emails. We're not on Meta platforms anymore, but if you really wanted to stay off social media, just, subscribe to our release notes, and we'll send you those directly into your inbox. And of course, we're also on LinkedIn as well. So thanks again. So that was it from 616. Thanks for watching. Nice. I hope you enjoyed that. I actually learned that a US bomber crashed into the roof of this building during the end of World War II. Tragic, obviously. Europe's full of history. This building was built originally inspired by a US department store and eventually suffered during World War II. And here we are again. Hope to see you in the next one. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.